Hello, my name is Denny Meyer, and I'm coming to you from my pigeon loft up here in central Wisconsin, and coming to you as a member of the National Modena Club. I have decided that I would like to present a Modena Moment on the subject of the Challenge Certificate program that we enjoy here within the National Modena Club at our 15 annual sanctioned shows. And the reason that I'm bringing this is that while being a member of the National Modena Club since 1998, I have also been appointed the Challenge Certificate Chairman for the club, and that's a position that I have held since the year 2003. But I guess that before I get too much into the certificate program, I would like to just give a brief history of myself and my involvement in the Modena hobby. I've had pigeons most all of my life since I was an adolescent, except for a brief stint of years back in the days when my kids were young. I kind of got away from it for a few years. But when I got back in the mid-90s, that's when I began to show pigeons seriously at the National Modena Club shows and became a member of the club and have enjoyed that status immensely through the years, as much as I'm sure all of you do. I breed about 20 pair of Modenas annually. About half of what I breed are the Magnani color, and the other half being the pattern birds in the colors of blue and brown. I enjoy this just immensely in my life. It brings me so much joy, and I get as much joy from the people that I have met and gotten to know at the shows as much as I enjoy the birds and the competition. But that's enough about me. So let's get into the certificate program a little bit, and I'm gonna finish this version of my Modena Moment with a brief history of the program that we enjoy and how it began, how it has transformed over the years, and how successful it has been through the years. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm back, and I'm here now to give a brief history of the Challenge Certificate program that we use here within the National Modena Club. And I'm going to begin by talking about the fact that this program, this Challenge Certificate program that we have, actually came from England. It was a program that was used in the English pigeon hobby. I don't know that it was specifically for Modenas or if it was for various breeds. I don't know, but that was where the whole idea of this challenge certificate began, where birds that represented a more difficult challenge to produce, that anybody that succeeded within that format would be granted a certificate for that, for beating that challenge. The person that was responsible for our adoption of that program was a man by the name of Dodd Young. Dodd Young had the Continental Pigeon Loft, Modena Loft, in California. And he was a man that, and his loft still holds the 23rd position on our list of the top 40 certificate winners in the National Modena Club to this day. And he was a man that Dodd Young was a man that made numerous trips to England back in those days, and went to a lot of pigeon shows and knew a lot of the more successful breeders of Modenas over there, and also was responsible for bringing a lot of the rare colors that we have today over from there that we had never had before. And he was the man that in the year 1960 he introduced this British certificate program, challenge certificate program, he introduced it to the Pacific Modena Club in California in 1960, and they began to use it at their shows. And it wasn't until 1964 that it was finally then presented to the National Modena Club of America, again from the Pacific Modena Club of California, which got it from the English National Modena Club. So it was 32 years after the National Modena Club was formed in 1936 that we finally took on this British program in 1964, and I guess made some of our own changes to fit our own formats. And at that time, it was Dodd Young and Jim Larimore and John Becker that were the ones that were instrumental in formatting it to our wants or needs, I guess. Still clinging to this original idea of it being for the more challenging colors of our breed. But all of the changes and the growing pains that resulted during those formidable years brought turmoil and problems to the club, and a lot of growing pains. And the program fell into a kind of a disarray, I guess you'd have to say, during some of the years back then. It was in 1980. I'm sorry. It was in 1980 when Bob Pettit asked Rick Barker to take over as the chairman of the certificate program. This was 20 years after Dodd Young had it. And Rick was very instrumental in rewriting the program and bringing it back to its original format, that of being again the challenge of the tougher breeds to succeed in. And he was very, very instrumental in establishing a new foothold of that program within the club, and that has sustained until present day. He had the program until Jim Vines took over. No, I'm sorry, Gene Springer was the next in line. Gene Springer had the program from 1985 until 1988. He was chairman of the certificate program, and then Jim Vines held that position from 1989 until year 2000. And during those years, the program really prospered. Gary Sevier held the position for the years of 2001 and 2002. Then Marvin Engel had the position briefly until his death. And then Jim Javier took over the program for a while until it was turned over to me in the year 2003. But that pretty much sums up the history of this program that we have enjoyed. It has been a huge success. Again, I say that it's a program that other clubs don't use. That, to my knowledge, I think that the National Modena Club is the only club in America that uses the certificate program instead of ribbons for rewarding wins at shows. And I think it's a great incentive to us. It's a great motivator, and if it means bringing more breeders to the shows with more birds to show, then let's continue. Let's continue to administer this program to our members so that we can continue to have the kind of success that we have in breeding good quality Modenas in America and on into the future. Okay? Again, this is Denny Meyer, Certificate Chairman of the National Modena Club.